You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
Hello, and thanks for joining Revolution 250, where we look at events that took place 250 years ago this week. This is part of the American Revolution podcast, and just a short bonus episode to remind you about these important anniversaries from the Revolutionary War. This week, we remember the burning of Norfolk, which took place over January 1st through 3rd, 1776. A couple of weeks ago, I mentioned that the Patriots in Virginia had defeated the British at the Battle of Great Bridge and then occupied Norfolk. The Virginia soldiers had won the battle at Great Bridge, but shortly afterwards, Continentals, under the command of General Robert Howe, arrived and took control of Norfolk. The British and Loyalists were forced to take refuge aboard Navy ships in mid-December. About a week after this, on December 21st, Captain Henry Ballou arrived aboard the Liverpool with 400 Marines and another supply ship. These reinforcements gave Royal Governor Lord Dunmore the confidence to put his 4 naval ships in a line of battle against Norfolk and threaten the city unless they provided food for the fleet. The Patriots refused, and the standoff continued for more than a week, which must have made a really enjoyable Christmas for everyone involved. The British Navy, of course, needed food and water, which had to be obtained from land. Without supplies, they would be forced to sail away. As the situation got more desperate, on Christmas Eve, the British even offered to purchase provisions, with the threat that they would take them by force if those sails were not forthcoming. This offer was also refused. During this time, many civilians evacuated the town with whatever possessions they could carry. The Patriot militia continued to make its presence known to the British Navy. On December 30th, Ballou renewed his threat to destroy the city and announced that women and children should probably evacuate the town now. He also expressed his objections to Patriot forces parading and posting guards along the waterfront. On New Year's Day, 1776, the Patriots paraded along the waterfront, as they did every day. The fleet opened fire on Norfolk with over 100 cannons. The barrage continued all night and into the next morning. During the night, the Marines went ashore, along with a group of black Loyalists, and fought a pitched hand-to-hand battle with Patriot forces who were still defending the town. The Marines put most of the houses along the waterfront to the torch, and also burned a Patriot ship down to the waterline. Eventually, though, the Patriots drove the Marines back to their ships. The next day, however, the Patriots ended up continuing the burning, destroying most of the rest of the town. They primarily focused on the homes of families who were known Tories, but the fires quickly got out of control, spread by strong winds, and destroyed about 2/3 of the town, with a reported 863 buildings destroyed. Patriot leaders, including Continental General Robert Howe, believed they had insufficient forces to defend the town indefinitely. He preferred to destroy it rather than to allow it to fall back into the enemy hands. Before the battle, many saw Norfolk as a Loyalist stronghold and had become a target for escaping slaves who wanted to join the Loyalist cause. These views probably contributed to the decision for the Patriots to continue the destruction of the town after the British had begun it. By January 3rd, the fighting seemed to be over, but then on the 5th, the Patriots conducted another raid to destroy the nearby Gosport shipyard in order to deny that area to the enemy. Over the next few weeks, Patriots and the Navy would trade a few shots, but there would be no more serious pitched battles. In mid-January, the Virginia Committee of Safety approved the destruction of the rest of Norfolk and a general evacuation. They blamed the destruction of the city on the British, despite the fact that the Patriots had burned most of it. The town's destruction was used as evidence of British tyranny and ruthlessness, encouraging more Americans to support the Patriot cause. In February, the British ship Roebuck arrived with even more soldiers, but with the town destroyed, the fleet moved to a cropping of land near Portsmouth, where they established a base. The Patriots quickly drove them back onto their ships and eventually established a defensive fort on that land. Dunmore did not attempt to hold any more towns or recruit a new army in Virginia, Effectively, there was no more royal government control anywhere in Virginia. Lord Dunmore would remain in the region, sitting on a ship in the Chesapeake, until August of that year, when he finally sailed for home, never to return. I hope you've enjoyed this Revolution 250 moment. To learn more about these events, check out episode 77 of the American Revolution podcast. I also encourage you to subscribe for free on whatever podcast platform you like. Thanks again for listening to this Revolution 250 moment on the American Revolution podcast.